Hi, this is Norman Ralph Isla, your reporter for Data Collection and Interpretation. We have discussed in the previous lessons about the importance of evaluation planning, especially in monitoring and evaluation of every ACSM programs. Now, we will discuss about the data collection and interpretation and how it helps the monitoring and evaluation of any ACSM program. Data collection and interpretation is a set of procedures and indicators that are essential to the monitoring and evaluation of an ACSM. An M&E plan should also outline how data will be collected, who will collect the data, and often considered to be part of the collection and interpretation of such. What are the tools needed in data collection? Actually, there are many. We have outreach contact forms, training attendance sheets, meeting minutes, registration forms, inventories of communication materials, website activity reports, and phone logs. One important quality or consideration of the data collection and interpretation is what you call the data quality. In M&E plan, it should describe what measures will be taken to ensure that the collected data are accurate, complete, and unbiased. Project managers must be confident that the results they report represent the true achievements of the project. In some cases, the donors actually require an independent audit of routine data to ensure quality and consistency of reporting. What are the elements of the data quality? We have actually 6. We have number 1, valid. The data should be valid and it should represent what actually happened. Reliable. Everyone collects and interprets the indicators in the same way, using the same data sources and methods of calculation. Therefore, one thing should be valid and the other one should be reliable, so that we could have the truthfulness of the data offered to us. Number 3, precise. Data and indicator descriptions have sufficient detail and the units of measurement are very clear. We need to be precise where in fact there is no room for mistakes. 4. Complete. Primary data sources include all the values needed to calculate indicators and no values are missing, because if there is something lacking, then therefore it is tampered. Number 5. Timely. Data are consistently collected and reported according to internal and external deadlines. The data are analyzed frequently enough to be useful in management decisions, wherein it should be time-bound. In a matter of specific time, the results and the data should be collected and should be delivered for interpretation so that relevant decision-making must be done. The other one consideration, which is also another element of data quality, is what you call integrity. Another issue related to data quality is integrity. Programs of all sizes often feel under pressure to look good for certain audiences and show success. Staff salaries, job security, and future funding may depend on how much programs achieve. So data bias and falsification are unfortunately real concerns. Integrity means that data are true, safe from deliberate bias, and have not been changed for political or personal reasons. Because the data should offer truthfulness to the reporting as well as interpretation. Because once the data is not true, therefore, the integrity of the ACSM initiative as well as its implementing organization is questionable. To do so, the routine data collection in monitoring and evaluation, we're actually following 3 methods. One is staff training, supportive supervision, and the data feedback. Staff training is to adequately and frequently train all relevant staff on indicator definitions, data sources, and data collection procedures. This greatly improves reliability and precision. Training should include exercises with practice data so that M&E officers and other staff who report data understand the indicators and how to collect, analyze, and report them. In short, we need to equip our staff, our employees, so that they will be truthful and honest in doing the monitoring and evaluation. Number 2, supportive supervision. This is to reinforce initial training to ongoing supervision and feedback. During a site visit, A supervisor should review registers, summary forms, or other data collection records for completeness and accuracy using a standard supervision checklist of key variables. Always conduct supportive supervision at regular, frequent intervals. Problems become more difficult to correct the longer they remain undiscovered. Repeated, consistent supervision strengthens staff capacity, quickly identifies weak spots, and stresses the importance of having complete and timely data to manage the program effectively. As long as there are close supervision, then everything is under monitored and considerably overseen by a specific supervisor at the monitoring and evaluation. In short, supervisors will really close check the importance of this matter. Also, another consideration to the supportive supervision is always how we see the importance of supervising our employees, especially in the M&E planners. Number 3, the data feedback. After collection and analysis, always disseminate program results and any subsequent program adjustments back down to the collection level. This can be done through email, updates, staff or partner meetings, or individual supervision sessions. When program staff see that data collection has an important purpose and is useful to their own performance, they are more motivated to ensure the quality of that data. Feedback is very important because this is where we gauge the consideration of such improvement and best practices. Now, let's go to the data use and reporting. Here, these are the additional components of a typical monitoring and evaluation plan. Routine monitoring data must be reviewed and used to make appropriate adjustments and improve performance. Programs rely on high-quality data to 1. Know if they are meeting the targets. 2. Make decisions about programs and policies. 3. Prioritize activities. 4. Identify support and training needs. And 5. Report back to donors. The ACSM is very important to show how much a data strategy can be done, wherein the part of basically of a data use and reporting could actually be done by a data use strategy by specifically answer the following questions. 1. What data or findings are most important to the program? 2. How can the data be used to improve the program? 3. How often does the data need to be reviewed for optional performance management? And by whom? 4. How will data be analyzed? By hand or electronic database? 5. Who else might want to know about or use this data? And lastly, what is the best way to distribute results to each interested stakeholder? These questions should be answered as part of the data use strategy on how much we needed our data to be distributed among the stakeholders. As you can see in the figure, the directions of data reporting and feedback, we are actually having a diagonal line wherein the staff and volunteers, the ACSM officer, will give it to the program director, then to the NTP, and to the donor. The donor is the highest in the position because they provided resources and financial implications in decision making of such ACSM, wherein the NTP and the program director decides on this matter of what is the best thing to do, and the ACSM officer to deliver to the staff and volunteers, especially from the implementation as well as in monitoring and evaluation group. As you can see, the data feedback loops are very important between the NTP and the program director, and as well as the ACSM officer and the program director. A matter of feedbacking is important when we can see that data reporting must be done accordingly so that all parts will be helping. As data flow upward from the ground to the higher levels of management, government or donors, data should also flow back to the field in the form of mini feedback loops along the main feedback cycle. Ground level staff and partners need to know how they are performing and may have little incentive to report accurate, complete, and prompt ACSM outputs if they do not see the results of the time and energy they invested to do so. ACSM programs can use a variety of feedback mechanisms such as program and epidemiological updates, especially for health matters, reflection meetings, supportive supervision visits, and quarterly data review meetings. To share ACSM outcomes, identify common challenges, and brainstorm solutions. These meetings are great opportunities to encourage staff to use data to identify their own successes, challenges, and solutions, rather than forcing top-down solutions from management without staff input. In short, the broad dissemination of the monitoring and evaluation results fosters a culture of transparency and accountability. It also promotes a program and an organizational culture of learning and best practices, especially if the staff and the management are inexperienced with a new strategy. Hope you have learned a lot from our lesson in the data collection policy that we have discussed too. Here are my references for your perusal, and hope you will use them to check for your further lessons in the data collection interpretation. Now let's have some discussion. In the age of information, the manipulation, malinformation, and tampering are threats to the truthfulness of the data collected. If given a chance to head the monitoring and evaluation of any ACSM initiative in your past involvement or in the future, how can you assure the integrity of the results and why it matters to any ACSM program? Again, this is Norman Ralph Isla, your classmate, reporter of the Data Collection and Interpretation. Mabuhay and maraming salamat.